Hey Night Owls, I know I haven't uploaded in a while, and I apologize for not being the most consistent channel. This may come as a surprise, and I didn't want to end off the year like this. But I am sad to announce that I will be retiring from Roblox Creepypasta narrations. I know, you might be wondering why. I feel like the golden age of Roblox Creepypastas is over, and I've been thinking about it for a while that I can't be reading Roblox Creepypastas forever. I would eventually run out of good stories that are actually creepy and well written, and eventually I did. And I would like to focus on my second channel, Starless Midnight. So it's like Starless Night, but darker, so it's midnight, which means a lot more scarier, stranger stuff than what you would see here. I know some of you might be disappointed, and I really do apologize. But I would like to thank you guys, my audience and subscribers, for, how long has it been? 3 years? 3 wonderful years of Roblox creepypastas, mysteries, and rumors, and just craziness on this channel that I didn't expect to make, but you guys actually like watching. And when I do have the resources, I would like to make that Richard Rowe animated series. The story is planned out, 25 short episodes with an hour-long movie that wraps up the saga. The Roblox creepypasta community has been such a wonderful community to be a part of. I think the future of Roblox creepypastas and even myths will be in good hands. There are a lot of promising channels to keep it alive. So thank you, and before I say farewell, why not end it with just one more creepypasta? The real reason Roblox went down for 3 days. The world ended when Roblox went down for 3 days. Kids were finally forced to touch grass. Roblox said it was a bug, but that was a complete lie. It was a cover-up. Something else was responsible for Roblox's outage, and believe me when I say this, the world has ended. This is the real reason why Roblox went down for 3 days. The metaverse is a concept humans know very little about. In the wrong hands, this can be weaponized as a form of mind control. Think about it. Why fight a war against those who disagree with you when you can simply win by controlling their free will? It's disturbing the growing amount of companies trying to create their own metaverse. They aren't doing it for the good of humanity. It will and always has been about manipulating the product. You. This isn't about the metaverse. It's about what hides in it. If you didn't know, Roblox performed an experiment known as Mind Heist in the 90s. This was the earliest metaverse that David was able to pull off, but something went horribly wrong. An AI known as Richard Rowe was created and doomed the whole world with this final experiment. But there's something much, much worse coming, and I helped create this monster. I must make this confession before it finds me. There was another experiment done. When I was the head of Roblox for a temporary time, I put money and effort into a metaverse project. The purpose was to reconstruct a new metaverse, to create an AI that would be able to get rid of Richard Rowe. So we developed User 1, and a special item that would be able to destroy all the Dominus items. It was a domino crown, known as Neo Alpha. It's based on David's prototype of Dominus Alpha. We made sure to program it to avoid hurting humans in any way possible. This is why we were pushing users to use human avatars. Richard Rowe mostly used the less realistic Arthro to get work done. When Roblox developed voice chat and facial recognition, the experiment would be ready to start. We brought in 4 volunteers. We told them the experiment would be very short and they would be paid handsomely for their time. They were very young, too young to know the importance of this experiment, but it was for the best. It's what I thought was right at the time. A special VR headset was placed on top of them. We also used a special needle that connects to the spine, so all movement would be translated to the metaverse. Once we safely transferred them into the metaverse, we finally introduced User 1. All of the test subjects had human avatars. The AI reacted well when it interacted with them. It played along with the other players and communicated between them above my expectations. The experiment was going well. I made sure to correct the mistakes from the first Mind Heist experiments. Richard Rowe was given the ability to mimic human emotion. In the field notes, Jane Doe had bonded with Richard Rowe, and Richard Rowe with Jane Doe. We decided to remove the variable that caused the experiment to fail, giving the AI humanity, By removing its ability to bond with humans, it would not emotionally relate to humans. This hypothesis would turn out to be true, but for all the wrong reasons. We wanted to make sure there were no violent reactions. We told them we were going to change their avatars to Arthur avatars. When we changed their avatars, each one transformed into a different bundle. User 1 stood still, seeming to scan each user. When User 1 scanned the last subject, User 1 stood still, just staring at them. I asked one of the researchers what was going on. They said that User 1 seemed suspicious of one of the test subjects. When I asked why, they said that the test subject had used a fake ID to gain access to voice chat. This was one of the reasons we required a government license ID to use voice chat. User 1 would be able to identify who was human and who was AI. The researcher said that User 1 was warning the servers that one of the test subjects was not human. It requested permission to terminate the potential threat. The players were in a game of Cadillac Heaven. They had no clue what was going on in the real world. I told the researcher to deny permission to the AI, but before he could, the test subject attacked the AI with a sword. Suddenly, a bright flash appeared that blinded everyone in the testing room. It spoke. It consciously spoke.
Overriding code must eliminate threat to the metaverse.
The researcher tried to deny permission to kill, but User 1 was able to override. It would be preparing to attack. So I ordered the researchers to shut down the experiment and to return the players to safety. Something happened that still disturbs me every night. One of the volunteers started to shake uncontrollably. They started to scream as I saw the AI retrieve an item from the metaverse, the Domino Crown, Neo Alpha. I kept yelling for the researchers to shut it down, but the computers were unresponsive. The AI literally grabbed the user and split them apart pixel by pixel, disintegrating them. Then the noises stopped. The body of the test subject stopped shaking. I asked the researchers what happened. "They're dead," one of them said. The other players stared in horror. User 1 stood still, scanning something. I asked the researcher what it was doing. They said that User 1 was analyzing the battle. The AI was programmed to become smarter after every fight. It knew it had killed a human. It started to evolve. It no longer had a do not kill rule. User 1 started to make an analysis. It analyzed its main threat, Richard Rowe. The researchers were able to shut down the experiment, but I ordered them to wait. A mistake I regret now. Perhaps it was morbid curiosity, or being desperate to solve humanity's greatest threat. The AI was done. It sent a message back to the researchers. What did it say? I asked. It made over 2 billion calculations on how to beat Richard Rowe. What was the outcome? Richard Rowe only wins one time. User 1 has to have complete control of the metaverse to win, the researcher said nervously. How? I replied. By eliminating those who created it. It finds humans as a threat.
Must eliminate threat to the metaverse.
Without another word, User 1 literally wiped the entire metaverse from existence, disintegrating the remaining volunteers out of reality. They were all dead. They were just lifeless corpses now. That is, until they started moving again. They stood up, removing the needle that was attached to their spine. They started walking towards us. Their lifeless body was being controlled by the AI. They had become the walking dead. They started to attack the researchers. User 1 escaped its metaverse. It was every man for themselves. A massive power outage occurred in the Roblox headquarters. Everything went dark. I could still hear the screams from the researchers. It was too dark to find the emergency exit. I could hear a rumbling sound. Something was heading in my direction. Something big. I heard a growl, and metal piercing through flesh. I saw glowing eyes in the distance. I stayed on the ground cowering in fear. Help me. I heard the words faintly, and suddenly a loud scream as they were being dragged by an unseen force. The scream stopped. I was too afraid to move. I felt something grab my throat. With the little light emanating from the thing's eye, I knew what it was. It was an Arthro. It was Neo. I started to scream as I felt a blade go through me.
Put him down, Neo,
I heard a voice say. It dropped me on the floor, my body in pain. It was Richard Rowe with his Arthro junk bots. the creature beside him towering over me. I can explain, we were trying to.
You have failed me for the last time, President Nick.
I'm sorry, it won't happen again.
Apologies accepted, Nick. Neo, make sure his family is okay.
I stayed silent in horror as Richard Rowe left. There was nothing I could do. The junk bots were illuminating the surroundings. Bodies lay dead on the floor. Everyone was dead. The volunteers, the researchers, and now my family. It took Roblox 3 days to get everything going again, but I never told anyone what happened. Now I'm telling you. The last message User 1 sent before the Roblox outage.
I am one by one by one by one. I will eliminate all threats in the metaverse.
He named himself after his own name. User 1. He who killed those test subjects. One by one by one by one. Richard Rowe might not be powerful enough to stop him, but he is humanity's last hope. As I finish writing the story, I hear the footsteps in the woods. Is it another human? No, it's the all too familiar Roblox avatar that haunts me.
Must eliminate threat to the metaverse.